All right, so uh, Sunday, today's Tuesday, and so Sunday I had my ceremony with Kim and Travis and Shannon out at the farm, ayahuasca ceremony. It was a day ceremony. It was early, so we drank the medicine at around noon, and of course I fell asleep, like always, almost always. And I woke up and purged, fell back asleep, and then Travis kind of woke me up and said, "Hey, are you connected? How you feeling?" And I told him I wasn't feeling anything from the medicine, so uh, yeah, I'll drink a second cup. And so I did, and then fell asleep again, of course. Uh, Woke up and ceremony was kind of over. I purged again, and then when we closed ceremony, I hadn't connected the whole time. I felt different. I felt slightly, connected to the medicine, but not not like an ayahuasca ceremony connected. No, not even close. No visuals, no, just felt there. Felt very there, very aware, very, everything had depth to it and vibrant color and kind of like a San Pedro ceremony, it felt like. Um, so closed ceremony and we went up, to have some bread. And after like two pieces of bread, I started to feel nauseous. So I went and called my girlfriend, and at this point, ceremony's over. It's hours later. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, I think. And I just thought I was gonna have to get over the nauseousness and just kind of like sit for a little while, and then I was able to go home. But I don't like to drive if I even feel slightly, you know, not right. Uh, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out to Camper's Dream because I'm starting to feel connected to the medicine. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try and just do my qigong routine and some yoga. I'm gonna throw some music on. Maybe I'll kind of work out the feeling of being connected, or maybe I'm gonna go into full blown ceremony. I don't know, but it's gonna be awesome either way. So I go out there to Camper's Dream, and I do the same set of stuff, the ritual that they do to open ceremony. Sage down the area, kind of like lock the circle. Um, I rolled up a blend of, because I thought if I smoked some cannabis, maybe it would help the nauseousness. And if it like disconnected me from the medicine I was feeling, I was fine with that at that point. But maybe it didn't. I didn't know. But I put a little bit in there with some sage and some natural tobacco and um, some other leaves, some plants that I had put in the blend that I smoke before my qigong each morning. And none of it is like a psychotropic plant, some usnea. So put it in there, smoke it, sage down everything, go to start the qigong routine, and boom, like I felt super connected at that point to the medicine. And I just kept hearing instructions. I do this, then next do this, and I would wait for the next set of instructions. All right, what do I do next? What pose or exercise or movement? And I would hear like move your arm, move this arm, now move this way, now move your legs, now stand, now breathe, now wait for the next song, all this stuff. Like a set of instructions for this whole entire routine. Bunch of push-ups, then some breath work, and during the breath work, it was like breathe, all right, hold, all right, you're gonna exhale in a minute, wait till the beat drops, exhale, just follow the instructions the whole time. So I got done with my whole routine. It was like, I think it takes like an hour and a half. And I'm like, oh, fucking thank God I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to get some bread, yo. That's why I came here, bread. And what I heard was, no, you're not done. You have to do it again. And I'm like, what do you mean I got to do it again? And they were like, remember you came to do ceremony on behalf of two people, not just one. So, because, in ancient times, and Shannon did this. Shannon went in for a client of hers. She went in for like to stand in the gap, as we call it in Christianity. You stand in the gap, you know, like you're in intercession on someone else's behalf. So the shamans used to do that. Uh, they would drink the medicine for the people or for a person specifically, and they would hear instructions on what plants to go find to help heal this person. Well, it's not necessarily plants this time that so much so heal the people were trying to help. And we can't always just get them plants and bring them to them. One of the people that I, you know, drank the medicine for is a couple states away, kind of. So, uh, but I realized that, so I did my routine again. So I went through the whole routine again. They were like, good job. See, that was for one for each person. This is how you specifically heal yourself. And if you're coming in here on someone else's behalf, this is how you have to do it. That's not the way that it works for everybody. So it made sense. It clicked. Like, okay, I purged twice. That was two, because you purge things out for the people, for yourself, for the people, for whatever. So purging twice, very differently each time, made sense because it's two very different conditions. And 2 cups and 2 full sets of the routine, very different. Both of them very different. Like, I do my Qigong routine, and it's pretty much the same thing every time. This, they had me do, whoever, God, had me do differently both times. Same exercises, very differently. And then I realized the next morning when I went to pour my bucket. So I went to pour my bucket, and I slept on the mound. I slept right on ceremony circle, like just on the hill, under the stars on a yoga mat and a sleeping bag, where I usually sleep. And it was amazing. Woke up and just, the sky was just covered in what looked like diamonds for me. Like they were there for me that night. That was the purpose that they were there, and that was the purpose I was there for, anyway. So I realized I went to dump my purge bucket. At the end of ceremony, you have a bucket, a black bucket that, you purge into during ceremony. But in that is a lot of what you're trying to get out in a metaphorical sense and physical, apparently. So it's a bit of a ceremony when you dump the bucket the next morning. There's a hole where you dump it, and that's the waste hole, kind of like the earth recycles it into and takes the negative. And so as I'm walking over with my bucket, because I really stepped out of my shell as far as, like, I like to dance while I'm doing the Qigong and yoga and breath work. I like to dance to it because I'm doing it to music. And so I stepped out of my shell as far as not giving a damn what anybody thinks, what this looks like. I don't give a fuck. And I'm giving less and less of a crap what people think. So stepped out. So I realized as I'm dumping this bucket, like I've dumped many times out of the bucket, is fear. Because I'm a big advocate against fear. I hate it. And we don't need it. Unless you're like trying to not fall out of a tree or get struck by lightning. It's the only fear you need. So as I'm dumping the bucket, I'm dumping my fear that I purged to kind of, and then I realized that would be exactly what, I guess, my clients, you could call them, my friends, the people I went into ceremony for, that is exactly what their condition is as well, is fear. One's waiting to go into a rehab center, overdosed twice in 1 week, scared to death, just don't know if they're going to make it. I know they're going to make it because that's what I heard. And I don't hear that much about, like, when I hear of or talk to someone who's super addicted, sometimes it'll click in my head and I'll hear, well, you're going to die, or, well, you'll be fine. I don't often hear you'll be fine. And most of my friends are dead from drugs. And I heard the same thing that I heard for myself. I heard for this person, and it was, they're going to be okay. Because I kept hearing that for myself when I was addicted to drugs. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. Maybe that was what I was just telling myself. Either way, it's what I heard for this person too. So fear is what's gripping this person. So I purged fear. And then for the other, for the other person I drank the medicine for, fear is what really has that person stuck on the couch. Like beating cancer. Beating it. Tumors are shrinking. The doctor said, your tumors are shrinking. But really stuck on the couch for days and days and days and days because of like a depression, a fear of not getting better, other than, having to stay on the couch for the rest of their lives and having to be sick for the rest of their lives, and fear of a lot of anxiety and fear. So it made sense, and this bucket's full of fear. I'm dumping this shit right out into this hole. It was a good ceremony. It was great. It was very different. A new way of healing. I feel like, for me. And I look forward to somehow doing it again. So that's what's up.